Welcome to the Springfield Township Board of Trustees meeting. It is October 13th, 2020 at approximately 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burning, may we please have the roll call?
Yes, Ms. Davis?
Present.
Mr. Burning?
Present.
Mr. Hanwha?
Present.
All the trustees are present.
Will everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first thing that we have on our agenda this evening is a public hearing regarding the Hamilton County Community Development Block Grant Program for fiscal years 2021 to 2023. Mrs. Kennedy, can we turn the program over to you at this point?
Thank you, Mr. Hotterlaw. Just as a reminder for the board and those in attendance, the Springfield Township applies to Hamilton County Community Development for our 3-year block grant cycle program, which is administered by HUD, federal program. So we are due for our 3-year cycle application. That application is due this year on November 23rd, 2020. The application requires that the township hold at least 2 public meetings the first to solicit ideas from anybody who may be interested in submitting ideas for a project, and then the second public hearing is for the township to announce the projects that we plan on applying for. So just in case anyone was interested, this public hearing, the 2 public hearings were advertised in the Northwest Community Press on September 30th. And this is the application for fiscal years 2021, 2022, and 2023. So application for the next 3 years. Just as a reminder, for a project to be eligible for funding, it has to meet 3 main criteria. One is that it benefits low to moderate income people in the township. The second, that it serve to either eliminate or prevent slums or blight. And the third, that it address a local urgent need. So those are the 3 main qualifications for a project. I don't know if there is anyone here in attendance tonight that would like to submit an idea, but currently we have 3 applications that we have sort of been rolling around amongst ourselves. The first is to continue funding the West College Hill Neighborhood Services Program, which the township has been applying for many years now. The second is for the demolition of a blighted and dangerous property on Staburn Avenue. And the third is for a road improvement project in the Madeline Circle area of Springfield Township. So otherwise, unless there's anyone here, Mr. Hunterlaw, that has any ideas for submissions for projects?
Well, just to let the record be clear, is there anyone here that wants to address the board regarding submission of projects for the community block grant? It appears that there is not. Kathleen will take this under advisement, and we still have to have another one of these hearings.
The board did set the second public hearing for this month's work session, so that would be October 27th, I believe. Today's the 13th, so the 27th.
2 weeks.
And that will get us done before we get to our application deadline. Did you say that's November 3rd?
23rd.
23rd,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so essentially, this is the first of 2 statutorily required hearings.
Correct.
Outlining the block grant process, as Kathleen indicated, to solicit ideas for funding. And then our next public hearing will be to announce the projects you're actually applying for.
Okay. Very good. All right, thank you very much. Moving on then to approval of minutes. We have minutes from our regular session of September 8th, 2020, and our regular work session on September 22nd, 2020. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have Mr. Burning, our fiscal officer. Can we have your financial report?
Yes, Mr. Honolaw. I'm gonna fall off of this stage here. For the month ending September 30th, 2020, the township expenditures were $1,585,790.47, and receipts were $6,829,847.57. The ending cash balance of $23,256,946.64 includes obligations for expenditures, payroll, regular operating costs, ongoing capital improvement projects, and investments. I request a motion to approve the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, updated and current revenue reports for the period ending 9/30/2020. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And I just want everyone to know that financial reports are available here at the administrative offices during regular business hours and on our website 24/7. Thank you, Mr. Honolaw.
Thank you, Mr. Burning. Next, moving on to departmental action and discussion items. Mr. Gilbert, do we have some action items and discussion items this evening?
We do. Thank you, Mr. Harnwell. The first on the agenda, it's that time of year where the board is slated to establish the date and time for Halloween. As in every year, I propose and ask for a motion to set the date for Halloween as October 31st and the time from 6 to 8 p.m. And I think it's important to add, just like in any year, in previous years, obviously the concern was generally rain and storms, and it's weather related. Obviously this time is a unique situation with the pandemic, and we would encourage parents and all those who look to celebrate Halloween that if you don't feel comfortable going outside or sending your kid around trick-or-treating, then you don't have to. But I think we will establish, or at least we're proposing to establish the date for the 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. for those who look to want to celebrate that holiday and actually go trick-or-treating. So I would entertain a motion.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
The next, we have 3 different liquor permit hearing requests, and if the board would be so obliged to make an individual motion for each one. These are transfers, I believe, and there are no objections, correct? So if we could entertain a motion to send the requisite paperwork to the State Division of Liquor Control, that would be appreciated. And again, an individual motion for each.
Do we have a motion then for the liquor permit hearing request for 10025 Hamilton Avenue?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, do we have a motion for the liquor permit hearing request for 8621 Winton Road, Unit A?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And finally, do we have a liquor permit, do we have a motion for the liquor permit hearing request for 8621 Winton Road, Unit A? And this is for the carry-out liquor license.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Staff will send the appropriate paperwork and indicate that we do not request a hearing for those 3 since there are no objections. Under discussion items, now I'd like to turn it over to Chief Leininger to discuss the happenings and activities related to Fire Prevention Month.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. I'd like to remind everybody that October is Fire Prevention Month. I'd like to share with you and the viewers that Fire Prevention Education Plan with our current COVID-19 restrictions. Unfortunately, our annual open house that was scheduled for October the 3rd had to be canceled. There will be no firehouse tours during the month of October, but the fire department personnel and fire trucks will visit schools if requested. The firefighters will follow the school visitor policies and will wear masks in order to keep everyone safe. Weather permitting, fire safety education will be conducted outside, and students can walk around the fire trucks while firefighters explain the equipment. They will not be permitted, however, to climb inside the apparatus. The fire department is also producing short fire safety videos that can be accessed via our social media. And COVID-19 has caused us to look at creative and virtual ways to educate our students and adults, and we're actually having fun with that. I have discovered that there are some pretty good actors in the firehouse, and we even had Sparky come by the other day and helped us film a couple creative videos that I think the kids are going to like. So that will be, we'll be working with Kim Flam to get those on our social media soon. So thank you, Mr. Gilbert.
Thank you, Chief Leininger, and I know Chief Browder is biting his tongue because you just teed up probably a lot of jokes for him with that comment, and I'm sure he's dying inside right now.
No comment.
Chief Leininger, I have a question. Has there been
Yes, ma'am.
any requests from schools?
There have been, yes,
Okay,
ma'am,
good.
quite a bit, yes.
Good.
And the teachers are still focusing on fire prevention during the month of October. Even though COVID has them somewhat restricted, they're still assisting us with our mission of educating the children and keeping them safe from fire. So, but we have had quite a few requests, and we're trying to accommodate those requests. We would prefer to do it outside when possible, but if we do have to go inside, we will be working with the teachers to make sure we do social distancing, and we will also wear masks.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Moving on, the next discussion item that I have is Duke is planning on conducting inspections of natural gas lines in the area, and they just wanted to ask us to make a public announcement to let everyone know that those with Southern Cross will be the technicians working on behalf of Duke, and they will be obviously wearing a uniform and then picture ID, obviously an ID badge. So if you see them in the neighborhoods, if they knock on your door to come and do natural gas inspections, they're there and authorized by Duke to perform those inspections. So just a public service announcement there on behalf of Duke. And then looking at the personnel update, fairly light update this month. We did have the resignation of Ryan Kennedy as a part-time EMT firefighter. His last date was September 28th of 2020. And no activity in the month of September other than that. With that, I will turn it back over to the board with one last note that as the public is probably well aware, and obviously the board is that we have police and fire levies on the ballot November 3rd. A lot of those are already being voted on with early voting and absentee ballots. But just wanted to encourage those that have any questions to either call here, they can speak to me directly, or they can find a lot of information on our website regarding those two very important levies. So I encourage those to get the information, get the important facts relative to those levies, and make an informed and educated choice prior to voting.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Chris. Next, moving on with our agenda this evening, we are to the portion of our meeting for resolutions. The first resolution before the board is resolution number 90, 2020, which is supplemental appropriations within the general fund, road and bridge fund, coronavirus relief fund, and residential recycling incentive program fund. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 91, 2020, authorizing private sale of unneeded and unfit for use property in the police department. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
The resolution carried.
Next, we have resolution number 92, 2020, declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.87 at various listed properties within Springfield Township and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have resolution number 93, 2020, establishing assessment for abatement of nuisance and certifying same to the Hamilton County Auditor. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 94, 2020, determining necessity for road improvements requested by landowner petition pursuant to Revised Code 5571.07 on Schuman Lane and Hall Ridge Court, and authorizing statutory actions required for such improvements. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 95, 2020, a resolution authorizing Joe Hunter Law, Chairman of the Board of Springfield Township Trustees, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Fontainebleau Terrace Rehabilitation Project. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is Resolution Number 96, 2020, a resolution authorizing Joe Hunter Law, Chairman of the Board of Springfield Township Trustees, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Pleasant Run Farms Rehabilitation Project. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 97, 2020, a resolution authorizing Joe Hunter Law, Chairman of the Board of Springfield Township Trustees, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Hudipole Rehabilitation Project. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 98, 2020, a resolution authorizing Joe Hunter Law, Chairman of the Board of Springfield Township Trustees, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Buff Court Rehabilitation Project. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
And finally, we have Resolution Number 99, 2020, declaring motor vehicles located on public or private property in Springfield Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, to be junk motor vehicles pursuant to Revised Code Section 505.173, and ordering removal of such vehicles pursuant to Resolution Number 80, 2012, and Revised Code Section 505.871. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we come to the old business portion of the meeting. Do we have any old business before the board?
I do not.
Do we have any new business before the board this evening?
I do not.
I do not.
Okay. Then we come to citizens' participation. If there's anyone here that would like to address the board, we would ask that you come up to the podium, state your name and address, and we'll be happy to hear what you have to say. No. Okay, and I'm getting a no. We're not going to do that. So, okay. With that, our next regular meeting will be on November 10th, 2020. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming.